So here we are, back again in the same hotel as last time you were here. Here we are, you back again being in the role of Magneto. The tone has changed quite a bit, but how difficult for you as an actor, because these kind of interviews, this is part of the deal, actually recalling what you were thinking back then when you were doing this, although that while the post-production happened, you were already somewhere out. So how does it work for you actually calling back again what happened during this shoot?
I just make shit up. Pretty much. No, I mean, you know, it's interesting because, like you say, you finished the film. I don't know when we finished it. It was a while ago. And then when you ask questions, it recalls sort of things about it. But yeah, for sure, when I finish a film, it's done and I'm sort of back to regular life. But it's the questions you ask that sort of then, I guess, bring back some memories.
Yeah, but I feel it's going to be very tricky, specifically now with that situation. I'm a comic book nerd. I grew up with X-Men. X-Men used to be my favorite comic.
Used to be.
Used to be because I don't read them as often anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And then you have like the business part to it. I mean, you know, at a certain age you realize, okay, it's also like a business. Yeah. And then you have this one thing, Fox, been taken over by Disney. There's this entire Marvel cinema universe, and there's this. So will there be another one? Does that actually even make sense? All of these kind of things.
So do you find that it's oversaturated?
No, not oversaturated, but I think I'm getting confused. So I'm wondering, how's it for you as an actor? You feel like, oh,
I'm confused too.
Any idea of like how this entire thing will end up? Are we talking about the final epic ending of X-Men, or?
I don't know. I mean. It really depends what Disney decide to do with it. I have no idea. I just know that this film, in a way, felt like a sort of ending of sorts for the cast from First Class that sort of got together back in 2010. Obviously, we know what happens to Mystique, and I'm very satisfied with the journey. You know, I had a really great time, and X-Men, you know, changed my life. Really have a lot of affection for the people that work on it. Also, the role of Magneto, I've loved playing it. And, you know, we'll just see what happens. I don't think too much about what's coming in the future. I just, you know, I don't see the point of it. I try and enjoy what's going on right now, and we'll see what happens.
That's the life of a nerd. It makes no sense, but that's how it goes. You're like, no, I got to know.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you like spoilers? Or do you prefer not to know anything about it?
I don't know, because like in this world, really, spoilers, they don't make any sense because it could be any different later on, because it kind of plays like in the 90s. Then I've been asking, did they already have like flat screens for that matter? Or what about Deadpool? Isn't he supposed to be there? Because they'll be also like in the Deadpool too. So, you know, all those kind of questions you ask yourself.
Okay.
This is really kind of weird. So with spoilers, I'm happy because I want to see the journey, because it's also like you're acting. One of the reasons why I love you so much as a Magneto, because you have this acting skill of like presenting power effortless. If I would do it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna move this bottle over there. And you're like, just like your epic entrance at this movie, what is actually going through your mind? It's like, I'm Magneto, I can fly. I was like, please let the cables don't break.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't like flying on the cables, to be honest. But no, you know, it's studying people in life, I suppose. Dangerous people that I've met before, they don't really say much. And they don't necessarily express much when they're getting into it, when things kick off. It's just a very functional sort of approach to fighting, let's say. So I kind of draw from things that I've seen, or also like other things that I've seen in movies that I thought worked or didn't work. Yeah, it's the actions that sort of speak, so you don't need to accentuate them so much. Sometimes you do, like, you know, for sure, I'd be looking through the comic books and trying to, like, you know, when Magneto's like pulling a face or whatever, it's kind of cool to see that. It's like the grimace, or within the helmet, it's kind of a cool visual thing to see. So definitely I'll steal stuff from the comic book like that. I, you know, got a chance to do it in Dark Phoenix, or if there's a pose in the comic book that I haven't used, or trying to find a new way to bring something physically different in, that's what I'll do. But then it's just trying to find a sort of, I guess, a zenness while you're suspended up in the air on those wires. Like, especially in Days of Future Past, that was pretty high when I was doing the stadium, the baseball stadium.
Oh, actually, you on the train, that's also quite impressive, like how you end train rides. That was really impressive. But so as a final question, so like your personal feeling, the universe that you presented there, also like in Dark Phoenix, how well do you think will it have a chance in order just to meld with others? Just like a personal opinion about what you thought so far, also like with other projects, including the Marvel Universe.
Where it moves forward from
Yeah.
here, is it? You know, I don't know. It really depends whether Disney feel like, okay, you know what, we want to regenerate this. We want to start our own thing and put our own stamp on it. You know, this is something that's come from Fox. If they feel like, you know, okay, we want to approach this with our technique and the way that we sort of set up films like this, they could totally recast everything, you know.
Would you be up for it?
I mean, like I say, you know, if I always respond to the script that comes in, the material, the ideas, people working on it. If it feels right, I'm open, you know. If it doesn't, then, like I say, I'm happy stepping away as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Danke
Cheers.
schön.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Cheers.
Bye. It's about this movie, and you're rather young. So I would like to know really like what it is for you guys being in such a movie which has like really such a fan base like spread all over those decades, and actually stepping in there and being like, sometimes I really don't get why these nerds are like so much into this all information, why this outfit is not the right one, why the superpower is not well displayed. How do you deal with fans?
How do you deal with fans, Evan?
Well, I just appreciate them. I think that it's awesome. I'm a fan of these movies too, so I get it. Yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate the fans, and they love the movies. And it's weird being a part of it. I don't feel a part of it still. I'm definitely the outsider, like admiring everybody and geeking out on everybody. So that's that's my story.
It's a good story.
Thanks.
I'm kind of the same, you know. It's awesome that fans are so passionate, and I love that they're so committed to like the tiny details. I think, you know, they're the people that keep the comic books and the movies alive, so always thankful for them.
But also when it comes like, to the display of your superpowers, I mean, of course, like this time you have like a bigger part than before. I mean, you got pretty much one of the most epic special effects scenes, and then I saw some of the behind the scenes footage. I mean, how is it for you? Do you even expect it to be that epic when you shoot it? Because with you, it's like this wind machine in front of your face, and with you sucking up the biggest power. And then again, I feel like when you play it, must be like, it's a bubble bath. Oh, it's coming in. I like it.
It's actually very painful on my crotch.
Oh wow.
It is when I fly.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is actually. When the
The bike seat.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Not the wires. Like
the wire?
the bike seat.
You're on a
Did you
bike
see
seat?
that? Yeah.
In which scene?
Well, the bike seat isn't kept in on the scenes. It's she just rides a bike for the whole movie. No, so it's like they called it a parallelogram, and there's weights on one end and a bike seat on the other, and so they would lift me up into the air by my crotch, like that, up and down all day long.
No, but in general, because I just had the same talk with Michael Fassbender about this topic, really like the acting part of like really displaying something really so epic, but at the same time really remaining like cool and sovereign about like the power that they have himself. But because like I remember when I get out of the movie, when I watch like a karate movie, I'll be like doing all the sounds, those crazy moves. When in your case, it's like, okay, what is it that you were thinking of? Like really, is it I'm consuming the biggest power, or is it really that you've been thinking about anything else?
No, I mean, for me, I think, you know, you have to kind of be in it and you have to use your imagination. Otherwise, it's just not going to come across as realistic. Even though you feel like an idiot doing it in like a bald cap and like green screen everywhere. But it's great because it pushes you to use your imagination. But I think it's really difficult to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. You do have to use your imagination to sort of imagine what it's going to look like. Sometimes they can show you a previs so you can get kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. And so you're not like going crazy or doing something, you know, making sound effects with your mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And when it comes to the series, I mean, it's quite uncertain right now. That's what a lot of fans are really asking themselves, how this entire universe would actually come up. Will it be adapted to another universe and all of these kind of matters? Is it something for you that you're looking forward to? Is it really like at this point you don't care? Because the thing is like you already know to work in series, either TV, but also like on the big screen. Does it even make any difference for you, either like the big screen or streaming or TV sets or anything like that when it comes to repeating like the same role?
I would love to keep doing these movies.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm very curious to see what Disney does and how they work with Fox and Simon and what they're even planning.
Yeah. If anything at all.
If anything at all. Yeah, I'm sure, it will be based on a lot of it, this movie, right? I think.
I don't know. Maybe they'll recast us all.
Well, yeah, that didn't work. No, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's incredibly exciting, and I would love to be a part of whatever they do. Doesn't really matter.
No.
And is it really such a big difference? Because like TV productions have been really to like a high value, and also like here they also like to have to also make sure that everything is like quite cost efficient. So is there any difference really that you feel as an actor when you are involved in those kind of projects?
For me, I don't feel much of a difference between Game of Thrones and this. In terms of kind of scale and time schedule and everything like that. I think, TV used to be, like, it was all very kind of rushed and you would film it very quickly, but like, I'm sure as you know as well, like, TV is held to a higher standard now, and so it's far longer process, it's far more meticulous, it's far more people working on it to get it perfect. And it's kind of the same thing with this. Maybe a bit more green screen with this though.
Yes.
And maybe as a last question, I mean, of course, because you have these contracts, you're not supposed to talk about that, but are you kind of like really more looking for something smaller, on a smaller scale, going for like TV or like indie movies, anything like that? Or do you have a schedule which is quite tight that just in case you shouldn't book anything else for this and this kind of period?
Both. Looking for both, really. It's about good characters and good stories and working with great actors and great directors.
Yeah.
So whatever that
Whether
may
it's
be.
big or small,
Yeah.
don't matter to me.
Okay, so no really big phoenix on the horizon to be looked at.
I am going to be starring in all of the Star Wars movies from now on.
Perfect.
All
yeah.
of them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both
We have
starring.
big plans.
Big plans. We're going to take over the world.
Yeah, making jokes right now, and like in a couple of years, like, I knew it, they were not lying. All right, anyway, but thank you so much, and
you.
thank you for this movie.